Hey there, this is Kelly Scar, Chief Marketing Officer with RePree, provider of the most robust paperless solutions for real estate professionals and brokerages in North America. Today, I'm super excited to be showing you guys exactly how to use the InPerson Signer. Basically, what this is going to do is get you back belly to belly with your clients in front of them while they're actually signing your documents. So if you're watching this video and you don't know how to add a client, a transaction, or a document, you might want to go back to our support page and get some good information there on how to do that. I'm going to assume that the audience that's watching this wants to learn how to use the InPerson Signer and already knows those three things. So as you can see on the left-hand side, we've already pre-added our client, John Smith. We've added the transaction at 789 Round Table Lane, and we've also added the document, which is a buyer brokerage agreement. So what we're going to do is go ahead and click the sign button. This is going to show up, pull up this light box, and we're going to add ourselves as the agent. We're also going to add John Smith as a signer. He's the client. The next thing we're going to do is change the routing order. You can see that it's 1-to-1 here. We're going to put us as number 2, and the reason for that is simply because we want the client to be the first one to actually see the document and sign the document. The next thing we're going to do is choose the client as the InPerson Signer. Now, we've got that complete. So as you can see, we have the agent as the signer. They're in routing order number 2, the client as the InPerson Signer, and the client name there, John Smith. And we're going to scroll down to the bottom, and as you can see, we've got a couple of documents in here. So we're going to go ahead and click on the buyer brokerage agreement and click on tag document for signatures. This is typical. This will happen. So make sure that if you're using the system in Chrome, make sure that you've disabled your pop-up blocker. Now, we're going to do this a little bit differently than we would, say, if we were on our laptops. We're not going to drag the signature boxes and the initial boxes to where they really need to go. What we are going to do is simply click on the send button. This has created the envelope and has now sent the envelope back into RePree. So we'll go back into RePree and click on the transaction to refresh, and now you can see we've got the documents for electronic signing. Go ahead and click on that. So as you can see, it's asking the client to be a signing host. Essentially what's going to happen here is you're going to click on Begin Signing. Kelly Scar, please give John Smith control of the keyboard and the mouse. At this point, you'll pass the iPad over to your client. They'll be asked to consent to use the electronic records and signatures, so they'll do that. Click on Review Document. And now you've got the document in front of you. You're now essentially going through the document with your client. So you'll scroll through, you'll go through, and down here at the bottom, what you're going to do is you're going to click on beside where it says Buyer's Initials. At this point, you're going to ask the client to click on the Initials tab. This box pops up, and John Smith is going to put his initials in here. And we're going to click on Adopt an Initial. So now John Smith has his initials. They've been auto-populated into the section that you've stipulated. We scroll down here to the next section where he's got to go ahead and initial, ask them to tap the screen and tap on Initial. We'll do that down here on the next page, and so on and so forth. So now what we're going to do is ask John to actually sign the document. So what we'll ask John to do is go ahead and click on the area where he's going to sign and then touch on Signature. Now it's going to ask John for his signature, so John's going to go ahead and sign. Adopt and sign. And as you can see, we've got John's signature is populated into the spot where we've specified. A couple of other things that I want to make note of. So down here, if we've got a blank spot where we need to put in a phone number, we can do that simply by tapping the screen and touching on text. We can go ahead and put that phone number in. Done. Fax and email as well. If you had a section where you needed a checkbox, you could go ahead and add a checkbox as well. You can move that around and put it wherever you need to put it. Now that we've got this complete, we're going to click on Finish. John's going to be asked to put his email address in here to verify that it was him. We're going to click on Continue. Now the envelope has been created, it's been sent. We'll close out of that, come back in here and refresh the page. It's now going to ask you as the agent to go ahead and sign. And essentially, you're going to be doing the exact same thing. Review document, come down here where brokerage's representatives' initials are going to be, and you're going to click on initial. Because the system recognizes who I am, it automatically populates my initials. Go down to the next page and do the exact same thing. We'll scroll down here to the back, and we'll put in here our signature. We can blow that up, make it as big as we want. And then we can actually put our name in by touching on that text box. And done. Now, if we want to date this, we can go up here and click on the date, date signed. It actually timestamps it for you as well. That's complete. The document is finished. We'll click on finish here. You can see here DocuSign has now created the envelope. We've got tracking for everything that's been done. And if we go back into RePree and refresh, you'll click on that Documents for Electronic Signing tab, and it will open up the documents that you've just signed. As you can see down here, both of our initials. Next page, scroll down to the back. We've got it time-stamped, both signatures, both names, as well as the phone number. Very exciting stuff. So as you can see, this is pretty easy to get started. If you have any questions about the InPerson Signer, I strongly suggest that you get in contact with our support line and make sure that you ask any question that you might have. This is essentially putting you back belly to belly with your client, in front of your client, and allowing you to sign any document that you need to get signed right in front of them within the RePree system. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial today. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to get in touch with our support line at repree.com. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.